Samoa have just beaten the Italians 33 points to 25 over at Apia Park, folks. So the wait for a Italian victory on Samoan soil goes on. I'm in my bedroom, which is not my usual spot. Apologies, but my parents are here hanging out with my kids and they are in the other room where I normally make videos. So welcome to my bedroom. Never thought you'd be here, huh? But we'll go over some of the key events and stats and whatnot. But man, that's a big victory for a Samoan side with a new coach, a bunch of new players or kind of returning players who haven't featured for a while, to get a victory over a Six Nations side that's been flying pretty high. I know it's the Italians' first game back, like as a group, since the Six Nations, which was, February, March. So it's been a long time since they've been together as a group. But it's more or less their first strength team. And they've certainly had a lot more game time together than these Samoan boys, that's for sure. So big victory for the Samoan boys, I would say. I mean, the key factors for the Italians, boy, did they drop a lot of ball. They did not handle the conditions well, especially in the second half. And for the Samoan boys, discipline was probably the main thing letting them down. But other aspects of their game were great. Like, they chucked the ball around really well. Their line-out operated better than the Italian one did. So, yeah, certainly a fair few positives there. There were some technical difficulties in the broadcast I was watching. The video feed cut out for a while, so the commentators just kind of had to, like the in the studio punditry team, just had to have a chat for a while until we got the pictures back. There were loss of commentary feed for a while. The commentators themselves were hilarious, but yeah, well, once the pictures were gone, the game on the field was pretty entertaining. There were a few fans coming into the ground a bit late. It was certainly not a sellout, but I guess it's Friday afternoon. A lot of people were still clocking off work by the time the game was kicking off. So yeah, the Italians, man, they started the game with a knock-on pretty much after the kickoff. So it gave Samoa a really early chance, but they couldn't capitalize from the first chance. But the enterprising play from the Samoan boys was encouraging really early. Offloads, quick hands, like cross kicks, really looking to play some entertaining rugby from new coach Mahonri. That seems to be the mindset that he's put into these Samoan boys, which is really encouraging to see. And it didn't take them too long, man. Murphy Taramai on his debut goes straight through the Italian defenders in a bit of a case of like, oh, it's your man to tackle. Nobody tackles him. He cuts through from close range. 7 points to 0 for the Samoans early and pretty good value for their lead. That being said, the Samoan discipline let them down a bit. Tackle in the air from the Samoan boys led to a bit of Italian field possession, a bit of maul time, and eventually the Italians had to opt for a 3. So, like, it's good if you're this kind of newly united Samoan outfit, which, as I said, has not had a lot of time together, to be forcing the Six Nations outfit into opting for 3. So a bit of a moral victory for the Samoans, but it did look like it was going to get pretty hairy because not long later, after the pictures came back from the technical difficulties, Monty Ioane went over in the corner. That made it 8 points to 7 because they missed the conversion for that one. And then one of the tries of the game, man, Paolo Garbisi from his own half gets it to Leuila, who gets it to Ioane. Big burst on the left wing. He gets it back to Leuila. Try time, like proper, entertaining Italian rugby. And 13 points to 7 with a missed conversion. And with the Italians keeping the Samoan boys really pinged back territorially, it was really looking like the Italians were going to run away with this. Right up until about the point where, as Samoa was struggling to exit, Fischetti gave away a penalty at the breakdown, which allowed Samoa, that exit, allowed them to get into Italian territory. And the next minute, they scored. Paiaaua with the line break and the grubber through for Wong over in the corner. Again, a missed conversion. The conditions seem to be a little bit tough with the wind, but 13 points to 12, 1 point game. Like, Italy kicks the restart out on the full. Malolo gives away a penalty for an extra roll on the ground with a carry. And then Samoa offside. Penalty conceded means the Italians are able to opt for another 3. So 16 points to 12. That is the halftime score. But with the Italians kind of struggled a little bit on the restart, like they mucked up the restart after that final penalty, but the front row got them out of jail by winning them a scrum penalty. a little bit ominous. Stats-wise, the Italians have had less possession but more territory at half-time. They've had more run meters, but the Samoans have had more clean breaks. And they've just conceded a few too many penalties, the Samoans. I think it was 4-1 at half-time. Second half starts with a Samoan penalty to make it 18-15, but then Leuila drops, I think it was him, he dropped one pretty much cold from an Italian kick kind of towards the start of the second half, and Garbisi is just able to get an absolute gift. Like with the bouncing ball, Garbisi gathers it 25-15, like easy as you like try, but that's the final scoring for the Italians. They basically go through the final half hour not able to catch a cold. Their hands did not look like those of professional rugby players, but by this point, admittedly, the weather has started to turn a bit, and there's clearly a bit of water about. Like the picture didn't really show how heavy the rain was, but you could see water on the field. So there was certainly some water affecting the ball handling. Like at one point, the Samoans almost went over after the Italians catching was comically bad. At one point, there was a ball throw, and one of the guys just kind of like ducked out of the way, let it bounce to the ground, go to the next man. Nobody wanted the ball. They didn't look like a team who'd played that much rugby together. Again, they've been brought back together relatively recently, the Italian guys, but yeah, that was really, really not good play. And the Samoans did kind of convert not too long later. Anyway, close range line out. And Tuala's able to go over from a pop pass from Taumateine. That made it 25 points apiece. Absolutely game on. Italy, though, still had a chance to win it. 60 minutes, they opt for touch from a very kickable penalty. They back their maul. It gets advantage. They go through some phases. They go back for the advantage. They maul it again. Again, they get advantage. Yellow card warning for Samoa. You can feel like this is a key moment in the game. And on the third attempt, the Italians knock it on at line-out time. And the Samoans are able to counter-attack upfield. So that's the points that Italy needed to score. They don't get it. And, the error rate at the second half, I think, just really continues to play havoc with the Italian guys. 68 minutes, another penalty to Samoa makes it 28-25. 3-point lead with kind of 10 minutes to go. Pressure on for the Italians. What can they do? They've got another attacking line out, 5 meters out. Not straight. So another big let off, and another knock on from Zaloki about 5 minutes later after they've been hammering the Samoan line. So 3 big errors in 3 bits of attacking territory for the Italians, and when the Samoans go down the other end, they are able to get the winner. It's another Italian error. It's a line out lost. I think it was Faleiva, the replacement, comes on. He seizes it, gets it to McFarland, gets it to Tuala. And then it is that man, Molii, is able to kind of finish it off. 33-25, even with the misconversion. Italians aren't coming back from there. 8 points with only a couple of minutes to go. Italy did have a shot on 79 minutes to try and keep the game alive. They took it incredibly quickly. He missed it anyway, but the full-time whistle goes as Garbisi's ever so quickly taken shot goes wide. So, massive victory for Samoa, man. I mean, this speaks to the fact that places like Samoa should potentially have more Tier 1 countries coming to visit. Now, I feel like if South Africa or New Zealand go there, it's probably a much different scoreline, but certainly it's good to see Samoa playing a team like Italy. And credit to Italy for going to Samoa, man. Like, I feel like we need more games like this. Possession finishes in Samoa's favour with 56%. Italy control the territory with 54%. Run meters 362 to 318 to Samoa. Defenders beaten 16 apiece. Clean breaks 7-4 to Samoa. So they're playing some really attacking rugby. Line out 7 from 8 for Samoa, but 14 from 19 for the Italians. So a few too many going awry at key times. Penalties conceded 12-6. That's 12 to the Samoans. That's the one stat that really threatened to kind of cost them this game. Individuals, Ioane and Liner on the wings for the Italians both had 80-plus run meters, which is encouraging. And Gallagher, the newcomer at fullback, had 6 defenders beaten, but Leuila kicked his goals, and not all of them, but he kicked enough to keep the scoreboard ticking over, beat 6 defenders. Nee-Nee made 11 tackles. But yeah, massive victory for the Samoans. You can see what it means for them. If you guys watched it, do let us know your thoughts on the game. But big victory, and we await a bunch more games on the Saturday. You guys let us know your thoughts, and talk to you again soon. See you later.